Hi there, I'm Matthew, one of the strategic partner managers here at Dealfront. This playbook is centered around measuring your B2B Google Ads impact with Dealfront and is designed for B2B marketers that are running paid campaigns for long sales cycles, demand generation teams looking to prove ad-driven pipeline, performance marketers, and agencies that are interested in tracking attribution and passing that information on to their customers. Most B2B ad tracking ends at conversions. This playbook shows you how to use Dealfront's Google Ads integration to measure real campaign impact from keyword through to revenue by tracking full account journeys and revealing relevant traffic that your CRM can see. In the next video, we'll walk through how to connect Google Ads to Leadfeeder, what the integration provides, the most common use cases, and how to utilize this data within your CRM. Look forward to seeing you there. Hi, during this video, we're going to walk through how to connect Google Ads to Leadfeeder, what the integration provides, the common use cases, and how to utilize this data within your CRM as well. Integrating Dealfront with Google Ads gives B2B marketers visibility that you wouldn't have had before. So it can connect your ad campaigns directly with real company level website visit data. So you're finally able to tie your clicks to your pipeline. Google Ads was initially built for B2C, very fast decisions, simple buyer journeys, one person clicks, purchases, done, sales cycle over. In B2B, that's not quite how things work, as we know. Sales cycles are typically longer, lots more people are involved, and lots more stakeholders too. And a ton of critical touch points happen offline or over a long period of time. And also in places that your analytics simply can't track, as we know, also known as the dark funnel. So what this means is that even if your ads are actually influencing revenue, Google's reports will often miss this completely. It only logs the final conversion, not the white paper that someone downloaded as part of the buying process, research they've done, or a Slack conversation that your ads have sparked. Not to mention the 90-day limit that causes the trail to go cold, even if the deal is very much still alive. And that's ultimately where Leadfeeder can help. So with our Google Ads integration, you can finally measure the real impact of your campaigns, even across very long and very complex buying journeys as well. You'll be able to see which companies are visiting the site after they click an ad, whether they convert at that time or not. You'll know which keywords are bringing in high value accounts, not just random clicks, enabling you to better deploy your future campaigns. You can track the full journey, first touch, repeat visits, content engagement, and offline follow-ups too. And you'll even spot intent signals from everybody involved in the deal, not just that individual that filled out the form eventually. Additionally, with Google, you won't be stuck in a 90-day window anymore. Dealfront will ultimately keep the story going as long as the sales cycle needs, with full visibility going backwards. So if you're running Google Ads for B2B and wondering what's really working, this is how we will be able to find out. So let's take a look at this in action. I've jumped into my Leadfeeder account. If you have either an active trial with us or a current subscription, this integration is supported for both, and you should be familiar with this interface in front of us currently. Now, the first thing we need to do in order to deploy the Google Ads integration is, of course, set up the integration. This is very, very simple and only takes a few clicks in total. The first thing we need to do is navigate to the top right-hand corner of your account and click on Personal Settings. We will then, in this sub bar, navigate to Account and then Overview of Integrations. Now, of course, on this account, this is currently showing us all the integrations that we have set up, whereas you will see under Google Ads the ability to learn more and then activate this integration. This will only take a few clicks. It's a very, very short setup process. The integrations have been natively built to plug and play very simply. Once that integration is then set up, a sync will happen and we'll start to have greater visibility of how your Google Ads are performing alongside the accounts that we're identifying within your Leadfeeder account. So let's take a look at an example just here. We're first going to filter for all companies that are visited from a paid campaign over the last 30 days, and we'll just grab a company at random. Now, you should be familiar with this company profile. On this right-hand side, this shows us all data associated with the business. So we have an overview of the company, in addition to the activity, which is what the piece that we're interested in right now. In this activity section, we can, of course, see an overview of all individuals and touch points from this organization and people within this organization too. What we'll start to see as a breakdown in the visit data is name of person, location of where the visits come from, user journey throughout the website, and of course, things like time spent on site alongside the source. The source is the key piece, what we're looking at right now. So as we see, this visit on the 17th of June is a good example of what we're looking for. So this visit started at 10:08 a.m., has come from a Google paid campaign. And if we expand this column, we'll start to see all of the data associated with this visit session. So entry method details, Google paid campaigns. Campaign type will typically be search or display. And then we also have a breakdown of the specific campaign, the ad group, and the keyword, which is quite core as well. We at Dealfront will often see keywords associated with find companies or find contact information, in addition to see your website visitors as an example. The next step, once this integration is set up and the information is syncing correctly, as we can validate and see here, is to start to leverage custom feeds in order to segment this information and be able to generate reports based upon it. So as we can see over in the left-hand side, I'll just move myself, we've set up 4 recommended custom feeds associated with tracking Google Ads. The first one, if we just click into edit here, so this is a generalized custom feed. If you're not familiar with custom feeds are a filtering mechanism. So they allow us to apply filters to the companies that visit the website in order to see what we're most interested in. So qualify based upon a source of traffic, like we're doing here, or qualify based upon things like our buyer persona. In this particular example, we have named it all Google Ads companies, and the filter that's been applied is from the acquisition channel under source medium, and is looking at all companies that have visited over the last 30 days from a Google paid campaign. So this custom feed gives us really, really good visibility of all of the companies that have visited the website as a result of one of our ads that's currently deployed on Google. Highly recommended, can support with your reporting, just to better understand which companies are engaging and if they are the right businesses that you're interested in as well. Secondarily, to generic tracking across all Google Ads, we're also looking at non-converters. So what this custom feed is looking at is, again, all companies that visit as a result of a Google paid campaign, but they have also not completed a form. So they've essentially contributed to our ad spend, visited the website, shown a certain level of engagement, but have not submitted a form. This is a really strong custom feed to support with account-based marketing efforts. So if we were to add some additional filters to this custom feed that look directly at our ideal customer profile, then we can build a very good list of relevant organizations that have engaged with the business but have not yet submitted a form. So it could be at the very early stages of the buying process in that sort of research phase where we can start to proactively reach out and nurture them. I'm sure you're aware companies spend huge amounts of money on Google Ads, but the only return they often get is when the 2 to 5% of visitors submit a lead form. Whilst you're still paying for the other 95%, you're getting no value whatsoever. So here we're just shining a light on those visitors so that we can both be proactive in our outreach. So yes, ultimately this feed allows us to see the companies that click on the ads, don't convert. We can obviously forward these across to the sales team to follow up with, or we can push those accounts into things like ABM campaigns to further support them. Thirdly, we have a custom feed set up to track open opportunities with, again, the source medium of Google paid campaigns. In most organizations, the PPC manager has quite a small amount of visibility of what happens to a lead once they've converted on the Google Ads landing page. Even though they're responsible for return from ad spend, they often can't track how the leads are progressing through things like the CRM how well are they converting. On top of this, the attribution is generally done on the last click. So if the Google Ads campaigns, assisted in the conversion, oftentimes they will not be given any credit. So this custom feed will allow us to monitor all the open opportunities in the CRM that Google Ads have influenced, even if the lead is submitted by a different person in the company that's different from, say, the main economic buyer or decision maker that's stored within the CRM platform. And then last but not least, we also have a custom feed set up for tracking campaigns that have converted successfully and have been marked as one. So here we're basically identifying revenue generating keywords and ad copy as well through the website. Again, for the PPC managers, most of the time never have the ability to track revenue generated by won deals and sort of claim that attribution back to the ads and what led that sort of conversion in the first place on the website. So this makes it very, very difficult to find out which ads are generating revenue, which ones are working best. Instead of just sort of surface level conversions, we can dive a little bit deeper to see which ones are actually converting as a result of which campaigns and not just maybe driving the most form submissions as an example. So with this custom feed, we can track won opportunities right back to the initial campaign and ad group that they initially submitted, the keywords that led them to that form submission, which should give you some very good and key insights on the sort of buyer journey that will allow you to obviously optimize your campaigns moving forward. Finally, once we've set up our custom feeds, the next step will be to typically set up a piece of automation that will allow us to distribute these accounts to the relevant parties. So as an example, if we take this open opportunities feed, what we can do upon editing it is you'll see here filters, email, Slack, automation. So there's quite a few ways we can automate the distribution of these accounts to the relevant people within the team. Email, firstly, this will send out a daily or weekly overview to a particular member of the team. It's like a list format of the accounts that match this filter criteria. If you're using Slack, we can set up an integration to push the account level data straight through. Or we can use automation. If you've successfully connected your CRM, we can say here that when new companies visit the site that match those filters we've added, we can define an action. One of those actions can be to send this straight through to the CRM, whether you're using Pipedrive, HubSpot, Salesforce. We have native integrations with all of them that will allow us to push this data straight through at the click of a few buttons. If you're interested in learning more or have any questions, you can find some supporting information down below this video in our help center, or alternatively, you can always reach out to us via the intercom support down in the bottom right. Thanks for watching.